All right. So there is one more concept which I wanted to talk here. In the company's object, if you go to this object which was the company's thing that we created. Now when you try to enter the data, when you enter your data here, you have an option of selecting a country and you have an option of selecting the city, right? So a lot of situations will come when you have this kind of a requirement. So what happens here? I select a country and then I select a city. I have two countries and I have 6 cities. So it's a pretty small set of cities and countries that I have here. However, I could have had a longer set. I can have 20 countries and let's say 200 cities. Now what happens here is, no matter which country I select, it shows me complete list of cities. However, I don't want this thing to happen. I want only the countries from India to appear when I select India as the country. Only the cities of India should come or should be visible to me if I select country as India. Only US cities should be visible if I select country as US. However, that is not happening here, right? So for that we have to do a small thing which is called a field dependency. So for that we will go ahead and create a field dependency. We'll make city field dependent on the country. It's very easy, okay, and very useful. So for creating field dependency, you just need to go to setup, create object, go to the company object. We're talking about the company object, right? So just go to the company object and create a new field dependency. So you see the field dependency where you create the custom fields and relationships. There you have this option of field dependency. Click on this. Click on new. Okay. Now you have to define the controlling and the dependent field. So which field is controlling for me? Country is the controlling field. City is the dependent field. Click on continue. Okay, now it brings you to this screen. You just have to include the values corresponding to the country. So these 3 should come under India and these 3 should come under US. So you need to press Control and select. Use Control plus click to select multiple cells. So I have selected these 3 under India and these 3 under US. After doing this, you just have to go and click on include values. That's it. Once the values are included, the color will change. You will get to see which values have been included under which country. So that part is done. You just need to click on save. So our field dependency is done. Now if you go ahead and create a company, you will see this thing. If you select India, you just get to see the cities from India. Right? Most of the times if you have different pick list, you will come across this kind of a situation where you have to do this dependent pick list or field dependency, right? Okay, so that is about our field dependency. Let me know if you have any questions here.
Something similar to the field dependency. How is the option of say auto-populating fields when you select one field, multiple fields? Auto-populating multiple fields. Is it the same way or?
Auto-populating the fields.
Let's say I have selected a let's say I have selected an account.
Okay.
So by default, rather than me having to enter the, quite many other details, let's say whatever the standard details, address or phone number or some contact or some opportunity, whatever. The basic information that I need not, redo and waste my time in just typing that.
Yeah, so there are two ways of doing that. Not two ways. In fact, there is one way of doing that. That is through the use of some formula which can populate it automatically. So that is something that we will do in our business logic section. That can be done, doable. Yep.
Jeet, quick question. And also, like when you're creating a fields, adding a new field, and we've seen that there are different data types. And also, didn't we cover that required, non-required fields also? Like we've seen that the data types, right? So whatever the required, non-required, which is null and not null columns, kind of things.
Yeah. So when you go to the different fields, all these fields have different attributes attached to those fields, right? So some of them are common, like required is one option. Required means making the field required. Okay. So any field which you mark it as required becomes this kind of required field, right? So that way, some fields you have the option of making it a unique field. So unique means it will only take the unique value, it will not allow a duplicate value. And like in pick list, you have that option of you want to sort it by alphabets, or you just want to so keep the custom sorting that you have done. So every field has 2-3 that sort of options. Most of them are common, like required is a common one, most of them, right? So that thing is there. I did not go through each one of those, and I will not go through each one of those. You just go ahead and look into that. It will again be not the right utilization of time if we go into each field and field type. I've not even gone into each field type also. Fine. I'm assuming that you guys will go into that, try and create that, and if you have any question, doubt, please go ahead and ask. So we are not going to cover that each and every field and their attributes and all those things. That we are not going to do here, but you please do that. And most of them are pretty easy to understand. You cannot have to go and remember all those things also. When we create that field, at that time only we see those things. Like there are few field types which you might never use, you might not come across. So you don't need to spend too much time on that also. Focus more on designing a data model, working on things, important things. So required, non-required, Biksham, I think the required, non-required is something that you understand, right? When you make a field required, it comes with this red mark, and then you always have to populate a value for it. Otherwise, it will not get saved. If you make country as a required field or street address as required, till the time you do not put a value, it will not save it. So required is a common thing which is across all the fields.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just I do understand that. Just I was thought of like just since you're covering the data types and other things, I thought of you're going to cover this.
No, I mean we do not get into that each data type and all. Most of those things you will easily understand.
Okay, so there is no concept of like creating a unique key constraint and those kind of things.
Creating a unique key constraint. Okay, I mean one thing that I would seriously suggest all of you, because you guys are from different technologies and all. Someone is from Oracle, Siebel, SAP and all that. So let us not try to compare things with that. The terminologies might be different. Whatever we are discussing, try to find out the functional requirement and map it with whether that thing is available here or not, right? So unique key, definitely when you make a field unique, it becomes unique. Salesforce has its own way of giving the identifier field, the ID field that I told you every object has. So that ways, so that unique key and all those things, those are terminologies of some other systems. Here also we have those concepts, but maybe with a different name. because database works on the same system, right? Every record in the database has to have a unique identifier, otherwise database will get confused. No matter what we are creating from our side, Salesforce from its side creates an ID, right? So that concept is there. Okay, so any other questions? If you click on a record, you will see that at the URL there is an ID, this alphanumeric key. This is the unique ID of the record. Any record you create, you will see that there is a unique ID here. So this is the ID of the record, and this is also stored in the backend, right? But it is not visible to us here. It is there in the table.
Not able to see. Your screen is not refreshing.
Okay, wait. Yeah. I was saying that whenever you open a record, you get to see an ID in the URL, right?
Okay.
So this is the unique ID which is generated by Salesforce. You did not create this field, but Salesforce by default, creates this thing. So this thing is already there.
Okay.
And the fields that we create from our side, we have the option of making them unique. So if you select that unique option, you can make it unique. But definitely you will not have a unique option for pick list. You will just have it for text and all those fields. All right. So any other questions? Anyone?
Well, I don't have any questions related to the training, but then yeah, as I said, my screen does not follow your instruction. My screen is way behind. I'm not sure if it's a problem with my end or from your side. So I tried all the possible restarting my system and restarting my wireless and blah blah blah. So would you please share the videos, since the last time also I requested and I didn't receive any mail or link on that same. So at least I'll try to follow through that.